All right, so good evening again. Let's see if we will get the audience back. I do humbly apologize. I do humbly apologize for what had happened tonight. I don't know what transpired. All of a sudden now the system is running perfect. I don't know. I don't know. But that's how sometimes things goes. And I do humbly apologize for tonight's broadcast. And we will have Mr. Ackwell back. We will have Mr. Ackwell back. And we will have Mr. Wendell Eversley. Strange enough, I had all systems running. All the systems running. And all of a sudden, it was as though my system just crashing every time. The program just crashing every single time. But all of a sudden, the program is running like normal. And I really asked myself the question, what is really happening? Tonight I had a very interesting guest that we were supposed to deal with certain and find out certain information on what is happening, you know, and because of what the technical glitches, every minute, I just could not do my show with the guests. But I will carry on my show at this point in time. Now, I would have seen and heard that there's no mountain legal challenges when it comes to the death of the babies. And I know people have taken it politically. Some people have gone political with it. Some people will try to jump on it to make money off of it. Some people may want to genuinely ask questions on what really transpired and what had happened. But the thing about it is that we as a nation has to be very careful in what we project to the wider society, which I'm speaking about in terms of the world, regionally and internationally. Because what we are saying, what the opposition is trying to bring about and trying to say is that our infant mortality rate is so out of control that babies dying on a day-to-day basis, which may not be so. Yes, there may be calls for certain individuals, but again, I will keep saying The minister has nothing to do with that. That is administrative procedures that was breached. And up to this evening, I would have received certain information, just like how some media houses receiving information, that it is a plot. It is a plot. That is the allegation going it. That is an alleged plot to make the Minister of Health look bad. So there are some people who may be hell-bent, who are supporters of the opposition, that may be trying to make the minister look bad in order to win a seat in St. Joseph. This is what this country has reached to. Because all of a sudden, this one wants to run for the seat, that one wants to run for the seat. And all of a sudden, all sort of information pumping out about 7 babies. So you telling me that the doctors, because as far as I'm aware, and I was informed today, is that apparently it is alleged that doctors trying to throw it on the nurses. The nurses not taking accountability for that, and they are trying, and everybody trying to blame this one, blame that one, blame this one for what went on in the hospital. They're now saying that they're trying to allege that it's the heat that kills the bacteria. The heater is a machine that is used to spray to make to kill bacteria in the hospital. That ain't working, and they had to borrow things from this one and they had to borrow things from that one, and everybody pelting out the allegation after allegation after allegation. They even tried to say that it was a baby that came in from some medical institution and was brought there who had the bacteria that caused the whole spreading of this bacteria into the hospital in the neonatal system. Now, really and truly, why isn't the opposition allowing PAO, which is an international organization, a health organization, and an independent organization, to do its job? And why do they want to bring in so-called external? Who are these external doctors that the opposition wants to bring in? Who are they? Why they can't name them? What is the secrecy that you want to bring in so-called external parties to be a part of the investigation when you have PAO actually doing the investigation as an independent body? So why would you want to bring in another party? And who are these parties? Are they friends of somebody? Because we know what is happening in the medical fraternity. We know the public is not foolish. The public is well aware of some of the things that happens in the medical fraternity. But all of a sudden, they want to put pressure on the minister. They can tell you if the minister passed this exam, the minister did this, the minister passed that. If the minister did this, the minister did that. But what about Miss Batiste, the lady who was the minister under the United National Congress, well, the People's Partnership government? What about her? What about her? Because as far as I keep saying it over and over and over, everybody wants to get rid of the minister, but nobody is saying, hey, what about this one and that one and this one and that one? Because it's easy to get rid of the minister, but not get rid of the real problem. And the real problem is those who did not follow the procedures or was irresponsible in the actions in carrying out their daily duties. The minister don't work in the hospital. I keep saying that. It is the doctors, the nurses, the ward attendants, the patient cares, the nursing assistants, you name it. Many of them, all of them, the administrators, all of them work under the health sector in various departments and in the hospital itself. So why blame the minister when the people to give the minister the information is the people who working in the hospitals? Seriously? And they will go to the parliament, they will make all kind of noise and bacchanal. Because it sounds good. Just like how all of a sudden we're seeing 180 something murders and it's climbing because it sounds good. But it's sounding good for who? And how all of a sudden, all these murders, the murder rate just spiking. We have not even reached, well, April ain't finished yet. And it is a projection as though we need to get it over this figure by the end of the year to prove a point. Is it that politicians may be paying people to commit these things, to do these acts, carry out these acts of terror on the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? Because one told one already, as I said, he has led fame. So what is really transpiring? Why are all these things happening? And we have some media houses who go with the flow because I am a this and I am a that and I'm a this and I'm a that. So it's all about promoting my party over country. How come? Since when we become so selfish as a nation that we don't care? We don't care anymore. All we care about is getting the power. That's all we care about as a nation. So we get in there. How do we expect to run the country? All right, we get in, we eat our food, who want this, who want that, don't care about that, though, and all the systems fall down. That's all we care about. Just to go and grab that money while the systems fall in. Don't care about that. Because it's not bacchanal, it's not couture. That is why we have brought this thing called dauntless defenders of good governance. Because if we don't defend good governance in our country, regardless of who is in power, God help us. Because there are many matters, and I will take it to this. There are many matters that is sitting before the DPP. And the DPP, in my opinion, this is my opinion, has failed and needs to be removed immediately. Because you cannot tell me that it looks as though it's really and truly different strokes for different folks. And I don't want to hear anybody telling me any dotation, but because he's a this man or he's a that man or whatever race man he is. That's not the issue. The issue is about competencies and whether or not you can carry out the duties in your office. Because there's a number of matters that was brought before the DPP, including white collar crime. And we are still yet to see anybody get prosecuted in many of those cases. Because we still waiting to see what went on with Barry Padaran case. What went on with that case? But he's sitting in our parliament making laws. How could that ever be? And we sit down as a nation accepting this foolishness on a day-to-day basis. How we can accept that? A man say he's the only child. Hundreds of thousands of dollars moving. Mother involved in contract. We saw all the information, we seeing all the evidence. But yet still, I am an only child. So you know what? I don't have to be prosecuted. Apparently, that is it. You can never tell me that here every creed and race does find an equal place. Because apparently, it does not work so in this blessed country. We still have matters. And if it is that the DPP can handle all the matters, and still have a question to answer about a $55 million building that was paid for over 3 years that he never occupied. But you still say down there as the DPP of Trinidad and Tobago? Like serious? This has nothing to do with the Minister of National Security. This has nothing to do with the Attorney General. You as the DPP of Trinidad and Tobago and $55 million over 3 years went down the drain. And up to now, we still in here in a proper statement on where the $55 million and who gave we $55 million and why we gave we $55 million for 3 years and you never occupied the house, the building. And that is the kind of, that is why we will talk about governance structures, whether in institutions, organization, government itself. That is what we are here to do. We are not here to pussyfoot and play games. Because at the end of the day, it is our grandchildren and children and children and children. And my mother before, and my mother before. It's all of we. Yes, I said it, all of we. Not us. I'm talking Trini. Have to pay this bill. So every time you're here, you have to pay a little more in this, or you have to pay a little more in that. Think about what went on and all who stole money from the coffers of the treasury that could have really gone to doing certain things. Think about those who would have wasted, money, making the government believe that they occupying a building and they never was occupying the building. But we paying $55 million. You know what $55 million could have been doing on a day-to-day basis? You know what $55 million a month could have been going towards paying salaries, could have been going towards buying a number of things for government ministries, schools, and $55 million every month went to whoever was the owner of that particular building on Park Street. It went into their pockets and their coffers. So it brings me to, so they didn't get to take it one week. Like how they move it like sport. And how like sport, remember that? $92,000 for this one. $100 and something million for this one. $44 million. Look how much money gone. And who has to pay it back? We have to pay it back. We have to pay back because plenty of that money that jump up like a juve ban and disappeared without nobody, without a trace. It's we had to pay back. So when the bad road, bad, nobody asks any question. You know, when the money for EMBD, nobody asks any question. When the contracts that Barry Padarat and them get, nobody asks any question. Well, with all that money, why the DPP ain't going after them? In fact, why the DPP can't tell we up to this day about the $55 million that was being spent on this building every month? Every month. And you don't have a problem with that as a DPP? But you want to preside over matters to prosecute other people and poor people trying to, of all things? I can remember at one point in time where they say that people don't want to move out of licensing office because down Rising Road because why? It was haven. That was the talk. Not me saying it. It was the general public said it. It was a haven for corruption. And I even heard one of the said, and I could play the tape, where he said it for himself that people went to do driving tests. And they didn't do the written exam, but they have the driver's permit. That alone should tell you. And when it was time to move to Carney, many of them didn't want to go up there because they were feeling safe in the little hole down in Rising Road. Many of them felt safe in the zone. And when the things started to shake up now, yeah, and they started to shake them up. They not no more like the hush puppies on them. But law enforcement now and cracking down on things. You hear the same set of people jumping out now, and they are saying the demerit points is too harsh. You hear the same set of people. They were like me because I wouldn't hit them no lies and prayers, you know. I would hit them the truth. And that's what Trinidadians apparently can't handle. Many of them cannot handle the truth. So they love to hear the lies. So you know what they're doing now? They're getting these so-called influencers, as they call them. I don't know who they call them an influencer. But they calling on these so-called influencers who are on the social media, who just blammer enough and have no proper information on what they're talking about most of the time. And they're putting them in the forefront to carry their agenda, to make the government of the day look bad, to make even the country look bad. Because imagine you actually have some social media influencers pushing and touting the whole world Trinidad is not a real place. Imagine that. So when people hear these things, and you have people coming down here saying they're looking for 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and all kind of dotishness, ask yourself, who spending money to promote this propaganda? And when you will have people all in Jamaica, imagine that, you know, they pay people all in Jamaica to say that Trinidad and Tobago crime is worse than their own in Jamaica. When they have schools in Jamaica that shut down because of the crime rate in certain parts and certain parishes in Jamaica as we speak. So who fooling who? Who mamagaing who? Up to now, we don't know what went on with Big Bird. Because Big Bird ain't saying nothing. But we hearing speculation. We hearing all the speculation. And really and truly, what I mean, if what I think I'm hearing really and truly, that is coming out from the particular constituency that the matter did happen in, if it is that it is alleged the person is involved in criminal activity, then how come the opposition leader in remove? Well, she can't really remove them now because they have a certain time, I think, in the constitution where they can remove a person from, you can ask them to step down and remove them, fire them and all that different things. But I don't think they can fire them because they're in the opposition. But they have a certain time period. They call the by-election for MP seats. And I'll get it from the constitution for you because it did happen. That's how Jack Warner went up for Shawarna's West. But it's just to show you that we have a governance issue brewing in our public service. And it is very, very detrimental to us that we fix this problem. We need to fix it. We really need to fix and start dealing with our governance issue on a day-to-day basis, fixing the problems. It is only so much that the police commissioner could do. But if you have rogue elements within the police service who is hampering or who is saying that, hey, no woman can rule me. She don't have that power, the authority to tell we what to do. We's the boys here. We need to fix it. And we need to fix it fast. Because God forbid we don't fix these problems. And we keep leaving it, like how certain things was left. And it started to become festering and it started to expand to a disease now that it become an epidemic, which is crime. If we don't fix it and try to pull it back, then we may very well be continuously going downhill because we want to cover up. So we partner, we friend, and nah, I protecting my boys. But you ain't really protecting your boys. What you're doing is later on, them same boys gonna turn on and bite you. And that's why we need to have proper governance structure throughout our public service, even the private sector, NGOs, CBOs, you name it. And that is what Dauntless Defenders of Good Governance is here to do. I will make, as I said, I do apologize for for what would have transpired earlier on tonight. And we did have the guests, but I'm going to try my utmost best to get back the guests. I spoke to them and I asked them to reschedule so that we will reschedule the interview, and I will conduct this interview fair, without any favors, because I have no one to answer to, because I'm independent and I will continue to be independent in all of what I do when it comes down to my work as a journalist. I will hear the two sides, all the sides, middle sides, because anybody who knows me will know that I am not afraid to interview even the opposition people. Because at the end of the day, you want to hear all the sides, because that is what you want to hear. So that you can be informed and you can make an informed decision on how you want to proceed, even come 2025. So right now, the country is in election mood. John Crossover, the government is not calling an election, but the country is in an election mood in terms of people campaigning, hoping and praying that the government will call the election. And even if the government don't call the election until it is due, they are campaigning straight down to the wire to ensure that they get some kind of message sent out there to the electorate not to vote for the government. So if people want to put out lies and propaganda, and they want to run with those type of lies and propaganda, fine. They can do that. But when I even sit down to read a police officer raping his own children, he's not the first, he's not the last. But look how quiet we are, so silent in dealing with these type of people now. People, dauntless defenders of good governance, will be here, and we will continue our programming. In fact, come next week, Tuesday, I will be trying to sort out for us to have also our family and finances, because we want to start to talk about finances also. And we also continuing dauntless defenders of good governance. And tomorrow, we're supposed to have Artists Day, where we'll have artists coming in and having an interview with an artist tomorrow. So we do have some shows, and we do have bounceup.com, and we are working on a number of things for you to enjoy in our hub, community hub, all in one place. People could say what they want, but it is going to become the hub of the entire Caribbean, North America, and all West Indies, Grenadians, St. Vincentians, Asians, you name it, all around the world. Bounceup.com and Bounceup Central is going to become the community hub where you're going to get all these things. And let me tell you, if you would like to become a host, doing your blogs, writing your articles, you're doing you want to do lives, you want us to broadcast your event, we are helping out with artists in terms of doing the bio for them. We let me tell you something. We are answering the call. Just join. Come on board. And let me build back the community. Let us take back our community from those who are pedophiles. We ain't tolerating them on our community hub. But once you come on board, trust me, you will not want to leave. And very soon, very, very soon, we will stop piping our streams to those platforms who may crash in the near future. But we are giving you a safe home to come home to. Because it's about good governance, good discussion. You can talk about lacquer, anything you want. You have all different forums. But we are going to make sure that you, the citizens, and the diaspora outside of Trinidad and Tobago, and anybody who wants to join the community hub is welcome and feel safe that nobody is running them down. Nobody is stalking them. Nobody is bullying them. But you are safe at bounceup.com and Bounceup Central. So, with this being said, again, we have Bossamark, and Bossamark will have some marks to bus. We will have some marks to bus. Oh yes, and we have the Pecan Pavilion. It's always open on Bounceup Central. So you have all the different things. Just come in, register, get on board. And when you get on board, you tell me. And if you see something that you want us to put in, or you would like to see, tell us. And we might be very well. You might very well see it there on Bounceup Central. So people, was good. And I do apologize again to my guests. I do apologize. And we will do a follow-up, and we will have him back in studio again, and we will conduct our live as promised. So look out. See you all next week, Wednesday, same time, 8 o'clock, for Dauntless Defenders of Good Governance. And remember, tomorrow we will have our guests in studio, and we will have our first culture point. And that program is called Culture Point. And we will have our guests in studio tomorrow. And we're not too sure on what will be happening after next week, Thursday, concerning a live broadcast that we would have been doing. But we are working on the nitty-gritties. And the first Thursday, we're supposed to be broadcasting some artists who are performing and entering a little contest, and to showcase their talent. And next week Thursday, we will have another artist before that. So when we finish that interview, we will straight to the live broadcast from Mover Junction in Trinidad and Tobago. So people, catch you on the other side. Have a good and productive night. Stay safe. Stay safe. Watch your surroundings. If you see somebody looking strange, or they're looking like they're coming too close to you, you move away. But look out, we are going to also be launching. Before I go, look out for the tech. Look out for the finance. Look out. Just look out. We are going to be here, and we are going to bring it live to you right here on Bounce Up Central. Have a productive night. Enjoy your night.